It's honestly, it's kind of nerve-wracking, you know.
So the kids actually call him Denton, knowing this is where he's from, this is where he grown up.
Everyone calls me Denton, so it means a lot. Great responsibility. I don't want to disappoint anyone. A bigger load to carry.
I believe in Tyreke, and he's an awesome player. But I have so much belief in North Texas that I don't want to let North Texas down either. I want him to be just as special as he was here at Ryan, and I think he can be.
It's something I look forward to. It makes me compete more, brings out the best in me, and it drives me to do better on and off the field.
Well, we're from Denton, Texas. Tyreke grew up in a single-parent household up until I married about 5 years ago. The support in Denton is, oh my goodness, you couldn't ask for a better place to raise your kids, to support your kids, and just a hometown feeling in the support of football and the aspects of everything in academics also.
I started off with flag football, built up to tackle. It was just like little kids just pretty much just running around, and then like always being like kind of like the bigger person. I used to be like really chunky, so it was just like a little blob just running back and forth down the field.
Full of energy. We actually used football as an outlet. He was 4 years old when he got to explore because he has an older brother that played, but he was too young to play. And so football was definitely the source for him. He was full of energy, never met a stranger, and he wanted to learn. When you wanted to discipline, it was actually football. That was the one thing that mattered out of everything.
Oh, well, it's the intensity and the seriousness about football that kind of makes him special. You know, everybody talks about the it factor, and you never really know what the it is, but he brings it every day. Like he's a pleasure around the building, and then on the field, he just turns it up.
He's an emotional player because he loves it so much. He's not afraid to cry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as a grown man, when you watch him, you just know how important it is to him.
Coach Tollison and Coach Cobbs, they always push me to be better than what I am today. And so by them doing that, I've never settled for anything less, and just always working harder and just pushing myself past what I think I can do.
But there's a lot of film study, weight room, behind the scenes that no kid saw, you know, and I understand that he is gifted, but he deposited a lot of stuff in that bank to deposit every Friday night when he was a Ryan Raider.
He's passionate. I look at him as actually going to do something that's going to be dealing with more of a way to be positive and helping others. That is basically what Tyreke loves to do, anything to be helpful to someone else. And I was a single parent for a while, and options for me were not the best. I mean, I had Tyreke when I was 19. My grandparents were a big part of my life when things were not so well. And had they not stepped in to help me out, then I wouldn't be where I was to be so successful for my kids. And so in this part, I've helped take care of kids. The Denton Ryan coaches will tell you there's been plenty of times the coach comes picked by 6 or 7 kids up for practice that's at my house. His passion for helping people definitely comes from Mama. If you can do it, God gives you the gifts. It's only a blessing, and that's what it is. So you share it, it'll come back tenfold, and it never fails.
Well, of course he wanted me to go to UNT, but really it was just like I wasn't expecting it at first, like an offer or anything like that. I just like played to play football because I love it. And then when I did get the offer, it was just like, wow, like I got it.
When he got his offer from North Texas, I high-fived him and told him all the great things that happened to me and that I wouldn't change it for the world. And I told him about my experience having another opportunity late in my recruiting process to go to Oklahoma State, and I didn't budge or waver and never thought twice about it. And I told him, the kids that you have in high school, I know you're from the area, but you're going to meet a whole bunch of different kids on campus. I mean, it's not going to be the same thing as being in Denton. There's 35,000 other kids that you're going to get to know that aren't from Denton. So it's going to be a great experience for you.
I felt like I was part of the team, And I was always down the street, so I would come to practices and watch and just build connections with Nate, AP, all the guys. And so it was just I found myself fitting in right here.
And when North Texas came in and go, I want you. I want you as a hometown kid to come be a representative of the Mean Green. That meant something to him. It's not just something I'm gonna put on Twitter, my 13th offer. He took it to heart. You want me, I want you. I want to build something with you.
There's a system here that they believe in, and I think the system will allow them to be able to get more dominant recruits and people to actually keep them to stay here when you get other offers coming in elsewhere. Because that's actually been what happened to Tyreke. He got other offers, but he was sold. This was home to him. This was what's going to be beneficial for him, and this was going to turn him into the man he needs to be even after he graduates, not just for football, academically also, and for the future.
When I went there, we had 4 straight conference championships. I mean, you can win at North Texas. I mean, we had 8-win, 9-win seasons and 4 straight bowl games. I mean, we had 2 guys lead the nation and 2 back-to-back nation-leading rushers and scorers and stuff like that. So things can be done at North Texas. So the fact that you think that you have to go somewhere else to do those things is ridiculous. So we got guys playing in the NFL, and I was lucky enough to make it to the NFL there. So, I mean, for the guys around here to not give North Texas a chance is, I think that they're cheating themselves.
I'll say it's good for me, just because, like, I can start a trend and not just be the only person that's from Denton to come here. And so I can start a foundation for more people to come. And so then more people on the roster are going to say Denton, Texas. And so for me, it's just excitement, honestly.
And you want to be successful. You want your town to be successful. And any part of having anything to do that will be great. I mean, it's going to be, then you look down on them and you tell your kids, hey, I started this, It will actually be one of the most, as a parent, I cannot say how much him going here affected me. I mean, I've had coaches from middle school tell me they bought season tickets. They've never bought season tickets here, but the fact that Tyreke is now here, they went out and bought season tickets to games. Those are the things you like to hear as a parent.
Tyreke could be a trendsetter, but it shouldn't be all on Tyreke's shoulder. Tyreke's got to go out and do what Tyreke does. There's no added pressure to Tyreke. Tyreke is a special individual, and if he goes there and plays well and the team does well, I think it'll be awesome.
It was a little nervous feeling, but like the guys just welcomed you in, like they were like we're already here, and they accepted nothing less from us also. So we pretty much did everything they did, and they held us accountable.
It's the way you take care. This football team, even outside, I had some issues with my mother with cancer, and just not only football, to make sure we were okay. Was my mom okay? It's a place where your child is taken care of, not just a program that wants your child before because they're good at football, but I love the whole tutorial thing, making sure academically, because as a parent, I love football, but I want my kid to be successful when football is done, whether he goes to the next level or whether this is it for him. Then that's the focus, and that's what I think this program has done for Tyreke, and I was sold.
What drives me is just being afraid to fail or not meet the standard that everyone's expecting me to be. And so with that, it just always play with the chip on my shoulder.
I think North Texas got to steal with him. If he gets his mind on right and he really commits to it and grows up, matures, and becomes a football player that he's capable of becoming, North Texas is going to have a special individual.
It's not going to be easy, and that you don't want easy. You want to earn your spot, and that's just kind of how it's always been for me.
But I think you're right on with him staying in town for success for him, because I heard Coach Cobb say it earlier. It's not easy, there's a business side to college football, and you're working for it. You're earning that scholarship, no doubt about it. I tell our kids all the time, just get to the season. Just get to the season. There's so many kids that have that long way look in their eyes when they're getting the crap knocked out of them. This ain't high school, and nobody's loving me or petting me. And when they just get it, they hear that band, when they see that ball kicked off, and they see that stadium full of fans, all that goes away. It does. I tell them all the time, just get to the season, and it gets easier. And when he has people to rely on, to lean on, and he builds those relationships. I think he'll be just fine. They're going to love him at North Texas.
I'd be most proud of Tyreke to finish school, to be a solid teammate, to be a guy that's accountable, that everybody can lean on, a guy that can be responsible on and off the field. That would make me most proud about Tyreke. Somebody that can say, hey, that kid's from Denton, Ryan, and he did what he was supposed to do the whole time he was here, and he's a class act.